Hello, Curious! Many of you are probably closely following the news of the current events at the British Royal Court. Or more so in recent weeks because information about the condition of Prince Philip has not been quiet. Queen Elizabeth II's husband was recently transferred by an ambulance to another hospital due to declining health. Talks about what his untimely passing will mean for the British monarchy have been going on for a long time, and everyone is also wondering what is happening to the Queen. Could it be that she would give up the crown to be with Prince Philip? Will the eternal heir to the throne, Prince Charles, finally become king? What information and speculations are circulating around on this topic? And will Queen Elizabeth really end her reign in the coming weeks? Stay with us to find out all about the Queen's retirement, but don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a thumbs up first. Since Prince Philip arrived at the hospital just over 2 weeks ago, interest in his health and what will happen at the royal court when he's gone have gone up. And if you would like to know about what protocol applies in the event of his death, what rules the monarchy will have to follow during its mourning period, and what the media must follow, we refer you to our other episode. But stay with us first, and we have a lot more information coming up. Although in mid-February, Buckingham Palace said that the 99-year-old was doing well and that his stay in the hospital facility was just as a precaution. And there are many indications that his health may have worsened. According to the latest news released in the media on March 1st, when he was transported by an ambulance from King Edward VII's hospital to St. Bartholomew's, the Duke of Edinburgh will stay at the Center for Cardiology and Cancer for a while. There, doctors will continue to treat the infection they are struggling with and will test and monitor any existing heart diseases. Buckingham Palace issued a statement on this issue, which confirmed that the prince is transferred to another facility and informed about his current state of health. There was no shortage of assurance that Queen Elizabeth's husband still felt well and was responding to treatment. The hospitalized prince was visited by his son, Prince Charles, who was even seen leaving the hospital with tears in his eyes. Prince William also visited his grandfather, and according to press reports, even Prince Harry, who decided to leave the royal family and chose to live in the United States, called Queen Elizabeth to inquire about Prince Philip's actual health. And apparently, should something more serious happen, he is ready to fly to Britain in a private jet. The 99-year-old has not visited his wife, but in this case it may be understandable. After all, for Queen Elizabeth, who will soon turn 95, hospital strolls may be unsafe, especially in this pandemic. The Queen has been performing her duties properly for many decades and is also the head of the church in Great Britain. And now she is the longest reigning queen in the history of the world. She also is the forefront of the longest serving leaders in human history, and experts and fans of the royal family have been wondering when she will renounce the throne for a long time. But for several years now, there have been speculations in the media about the abdication of Queen Elizabeth II, especially as the monarch has been handing over more and more responsibilities to her son Charles. And this fact is considered by many as a preparation for the heir to the throne to take office, and there are rumors that Her Majesty will announce her abdication after she turns 95 on a regular basis. And that would be soon because the Queen is celebrating her birthday in April. Another term that is taken is at the end of Queen Elizabeth II's reign is the death of Prince Philip, and it has been long said that she would not want to fulfill her duties without her husband. And according to Robert Jobson, a longtime biographer of the royal family, the pandemic will bring the Queen to an end of her reign due to the coronavirus-induced restrictions on her power. Already last year, she was convinced that it would be when she turned 95, and as he emphasized at the time, the monarch does not want this at all, but cannot prolong this moment indefinitely in the present situation. However, despite all of this information circulating, according to royal experts and others, the Queen is not thinking of abdication and giving up the crown. But will she change her mind with Prince Philip's deteriorating health? Everything indicates that if she decides to withdraw from her duties, she will decide by regency and only authorize Prince Charles to perform her functions. In Great Britain, there is a Regency Act of 1937, under which a ruling person may appoint a regent who will act on her behalf. Then, the regent will be a decision-making person in the event of the inability to fulfill obligations by the monarch for various reasons, including due to old age or illness. The aforementioned Robert Jobson claimed that in recent interviews, that power is a transitional period, because soon absolutely all powers will be transferred to Charles. In this case, the title of queen will still be held by Elizabeth II, but what if there was an abdication and her firstborn son became king? What title would his wife, Camilla, receive then? The mentioned beloved Prince Charles will not become a queen. Marrying the heir to the throne, she was awarded the title of Princess of Cornwall, and due to the deceased Princess Diana, she did not receive the nickname of the Princess of Wales due to the prince's wife. And when Prince Charles is seated, Camilla will be hailed Her Majesty, the Princess Spouse. Even before their wedding in 2005, it was established that when the prince became monarch, his chosen one would receive the title of Princess Consort. And as we mentioned earlier, Queen Elizabeth is breaking records with regards to the crown. Nobody had ruled the British Empire for so long. She was 25 when she learned of the sudden death of her father, King George VI. And as the eldest daughter of the monarch, she became the queen. This year, it will be 69 years since she has been in office. In 1952, she said, "I declare you to that I will dedicate my life, my whole life, long or short, to your service and to the service of our great imperial family, to which we all belong." Interestingly, the British do not like the fact that Prince Charles could become their king because they believe that he would not be a good ruler. In the role of their king, they would definitely prefer to see Queen Elizabeth II's grandson, Prince William. The role of the reigning monarch should not be taken lightly, and the Queen knows this very well. She realizes that her firstborn son has many opponents. Moreover, his second wife is not very liked by the people of Great Britain. Charles's image was also not improved by the series The Crown, the latest season of which was reminiscent of a tragic marriage with Princess Diana. In addition, people have been afraid for a long time that the prince, among others, does not have the necessary personality traits or skills to rise to the occasion. And if such a large part of society does not believe, he would prove himself to be the head of the state, the difficult task ahead of him to convince them of himself. And however, he already performed some of the duties on behalf of his mother and is the longest waiting heir to the power in the history of the British monarchy, so he had a lot of time to gain the necessary experience. However, it is known that a prince representing a queen does not have the same authority as a king. For now, all important matters relating to the state are dealt with by the head of the royal family, and it is Queen Elizabeth that bears the greatest responsibility. Now, however, she may have a very good reason to hand over all of her responsibilities to the heir to the throne so that she may be close to her husband. It's very sad, but they have spent a long time apart in recent years. They have not had lived together since 2017, as Prince Philip decided to retire and move away from his duties towards the crown and disappear from the public life. He hid away at the wood farmhouse on the Sandringham estates, and the Queen remained active the entire time living at Buckingham Palace, the official London residence of the British monarchs. So they lived apart and did not see each other for several weeks, but reportedly talked to each other on the phone every single day. And due to the pandemic, they have had more time for each other over the past year. They spent a quarantine together at Windsor Castle. Since the prince's retirement and his resignation from the royal service, his absence has not been overlooked, including even at such important events as the Queen's birthday, on the occasion of which a traditional celebration is held, lavishly celebrated by the British. However, considering his age, it would probably be difficult and tiring for him. Prince Philip will be 100 on June 10th this year. If he feels better in the coming weeks and his health allows him to leave the hospital, will the Queen finally decide to be close to her husband? After all, the time they have left, even in good health, keeps getting shorter and shorter. It is known that the Duke planned to return to Wood Farm in Sandringham this summer, where he has spent the last few years. However, due to his delicate health condition, no plans for the future are certain at the moment, and while it would seem that this is an appropriate and final moment for the royal couple to spend time together, there is nothing that indicates that these are the Queen's plans. While there is more and more talk of her abdication or making Charles regent, Buckingham Palace has so far made no official statement on the matter. According to comments from people close to the royal family, Queen Elizabeth has been able to rest for the last year and take a real breath of fresh air for some peace, which is practically not happened for nearly 70 years. And as we mentioned, she spent social isolation due to the coronavirus with her husband. While the monarch continued to perform her duties, working remotely, undoubtedly moving back together was a nice change for the marriage. The truth is that only the beginning of their life together was peaceful, out of the control of the public opinion. And since the young Elizabeth soon became queen, their lives changed completely. The crown and duties toward her began to play the first violin. And now that Prince Philip's health has deteriorated, do you think Queen Elizabeth might be a bit embarrassed at this point that she always put her responsibilities before her family? During the quarantine, the couple reportedly did not miss any lunch together, and despite many differences, they enjoyed each other's company. So now is this time to finally choose a husband after many decades and say goodbye to the crown? So curious, what do you think will be the Queen's decision in the near future? Do you believe that she will abdicate and Charles will finally become king? Or would you rather take advantage of the Regency Act and hand over his duties to the heir to the throne while still keeping the crown? Or maybe you think that neither of these will happen yet, and she will continue to fulfill her duties. Please let us know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give a thumbs up. So see you guys next time.